Good afternoon. Welcome to the Labor Day Rally 2026 at Hong Lim Park. This is Jean Tan for the Online Citizen. We are doing live coverage, and the official program starts at 5 to 7. So until 5, we have some individuals who will come to share their thoughts with us about Labor Day, their feelings about this, about Labor Day, their thoughts. And first we have from SDP, Joshua. Joshua, over to you. Joshua.
What do I say? Anything. Oh my god. Okay, so I just roll with it. Okay, hi, I'm Joshua. I'm from the Singapore Democratic Party. You can hear, right? Okay. Yeah, so basically we are here today to show solidarity with our civil society friends. There are some concerns that particularly created some anxious feelings among our youths, among seniors, from Singaporeans from all walks of life. So the recent Middle Eastern war that has caused the oil to spike, business costs have gone up, businesses are rolling back on benefits, on jobs. So a lot of youths, when they graduate, they have this genuine anxiety on whether or not they can find a job, whether or not they can secure employment, and there's also an issue of underemployment. And then our seniors, particularly our most vulnerable seniors, they are not able to afford some simple basic necessities, so they have to actually go through the Comcare system and everything. Even with the recent amended budget measures on April, bringing forward the vouchers, it's still not really adequate or sufficient. It doesn't tackle the systemic issues such as GST, healthcare, which has gone beyond the APEC average of inflation. And then many more people are downgrading their integrated shield plans and going to hospital restructured plans. So these are some very important concerns that we want to talk about today. That we have a booth over here, so many people, the visitors, when they come in, they can actually see what we have prepared and what we have in store for them. Okay. Can, right? Okay, can. Okay, this one. Thank you so much. Everyone else is more. I'm on the back of this pressure. Guessing that it's better. I can't keep myself together because all of this stress gave me something to ride on. Pain gave me something I can set my sights on. Never forget the blood, sweat, and tears. The uphill struggle over years. The fear and trash talking in the people.
Next we have Valencia, who is Hi, next we have Valencia, who is an artist. So can you share your thoughts about the meaning of labor and what it means to you, especially on this day?
It means a lot to me because all the organizations here you see is at the grassroots level, independent of the state. So like all of this effort is done by the people and also for the people. As an artist myself, I'm also trying to dismantle the bourgeoisie, to make art that will speak to the people. And if you come to Labor Day, you'll be able to see our booth along as with many other cultural production groups. For example, No Name Distro, who is a Zine production booth. It's a very exciting time at Labor Day. So if you have time, please come down. Can?
Okay, thank you. So just stay with us. Someone else will come up to talk to you and share with you. Thank you very, very much, Valencia. Thank you. Okay, thank you. What?
So are you going to use the chair or not? You say don't want, do you read or not?
Don't use the chair.
Huh? If you don't want to use the chair, then
It's up to it's up to you. It was more we were trying to deal with the height issue today. So as in the camera's height. So then you don't have to go up and down. That was my concern.
When a fire
say
starts
don't
to
want the chair.
burn, right, and it starts to spread, she gonna bring that attitude home. You don't want to do nothing what they like. When a fire starts to burn, right, and it starts to spread, she gonna bring that attitude home. You don't want to do nothing what they like. When a fire starts to burn, and it's
Can you stand there? Let me. Can you stand
and
there?
it's
Stand there.
and it's when a fire starts to burn, right, and it starts to spread, she gonna bring that attitude home. You don't want to do nothing what they like. When a fire starts to burn, right, and it starts to spread, she gonna bring that attitude home. You don't want to do nothing what they like. When a fire starts to burn, and it's when a fire starts to burn.
Okay, I tell her. Okay, thanks.
When a fire starts to burn, right, and it starts to spread, she gonna bring that attitude home. You don't want to do nothing what they like. When a fire starts to burn, right, and it starts to spread, she gonna bring that attitude home. You don't want to do nothing what they like. When a fire starts to burn, right, and it starts to spread, she gonna bring that attitude home. You don't want to do nothing what they like. When a fire starts to burn, right, and it starts to spread, she gonna bring that attitude home. You don't want to do nothing what they like. When a fire starts, and it's
put a price on my soul. My burden is heavy, my dreams are beyond control. When that steamboat whistle blows, I wanna give you all I got to give, and I do hope you receive it well, depending on the way you feel that you live. Dear landlord, please heed these words that I speak. know you've suffered much, but in this you are not so unique. All of us at times we might work too hard, too heavy, too fast, and too much. And anyone can fill his life up with things he can see, but it just
All right, you look at that clock there. That's symbolizing something. What is it symbolizing, Dinesh?
I think a clock
Time.
symbolizes
Somebody say time. Shouting.
It's a nice Rolex.
It's their time.
It's their time. It's our time. It's everyone's time.
Okay, but in all seriousness, what does it symbolize for this moment?
We are running out of time.
I say 10 more minutes, guys. 10 more minutes
Oh, yes.
to talk to everybody at the booths. Okay, before we start
Yeah,
the
so
rally.
10 more
proper.
minutes. Those of you at the booth, maybe head down to the front, find a nice spot, and just sit down.
Sit down or stand up. It's up to you. We're getting more chairs for people who need it. Fret not. Okay, Jazz, because we are a labor movement that prepares for everything in advance. Okay, so just bring your umbrellas with you, just in case. Okay, your CPF is saying for the rainy day. The umbrella is for the rainy rally. Okay.
Yeah, this is a rain or shine event, so let's just go with it.
Rain or shine, Labor Day will go on.
Because the workers work regardless of weather.
It's very sad. So some one of the reasons we are protesting today.
Yep, that's why we're here.
Yep. We'll share more in a bit.
So 10 minutes, guys. We'll see you back shortly.
Remember the name of days before the army came. Please remember Victor Hara in the Santiago Stadium. Ever down, that was Washington bullets again. And in the Bay of Pigs in 1961, a banner for the Playboy and the Cuban sun. For Castro is the color is a redder than red. Those Washington bullets, one Castro dead.
If you're hanging out outside the park and you actually are here for the rally, I see some of you have program booklets. Join us. Join the crowd.
So you want to ask me questions or?
No, you just say anything.
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
The people for the leader of the people. No Washington bullet, what else could we do? If we can find an Afghan rebel if the Moscow bullets missed.
And now we have Stephanie, who is the director of Home.
Hi everyone, my name is Stephanie and I work for Home. We are a migrant worker NGO and we've been around for 22 years. So today at the Labor Day rally, we are launching our petition to ban the transporting of migrant workers on the back of lorries. So we are saying that this practice has gone on for too long. It is an unsafe and undignified mode of transport for migrant workers, and we expect the government to ban this practice. Since the year 2000, over 100 workers have died from being transported this way,
Right,
and
this is
thousands
an
have been
announcement
injured.
from the organizers.
Yeah.
Will the speakers, performers, please be on standby sooner? Okay, so we can start on time and we can wrap up the rally on time as well. Time is very much on our minds. proper, please remember, okay, get your program booklet. It looks something like this. It's going to be very, very important, okay, as we go ahead with the rally. Songs, chants, the program flow, everything.
I see. Sometimes in life, there's a lot of people just gonna keep yapping, and all you gotta do is, let me tell you what you gotta do. Let me tell you what I'ma do. I walk out, the church is talking politics, man. I walk out, the sergeants wanna bark at me, man. I walk out, my friends wanna act a fool. I walk out, I got too much to lose. I walk out, I don't care what you say. I walk out, I don't wanna waste my day. I walk out, they say I got an attitude. I just do me, this comes to me as natural. Everyone listen up, there's a sense to my methods. My homies wanna blow gang signs and act reckless. You want me to stay and fight for your hot head? Screw that, you can get beat or even shot dead. You know what they say, I'm disloyal and all. You think that you a good friend, trying to bring it to my downfall. I don't need your friendship, I'ma end this. If I don't cut ties, drama's gonna be endless. Your members are envious, pretend they show you love, and they claim to lay your blood, they bring pain like menses, thinking that they selfless. I know what their motive is, manipulate my pain, I'ma be emotionless. I'm just trying to be hip-hop's poster kid. How the hell am I supposed to live with these rats crawling next to me, harassing me, blasting me? I'ma catch them in the jar and close the lid. I walk out, the church is talking politics, man. I walk out, the sergeants wanna bark at me, man. I walk out, my friends wanna act a fool. I walk out, I got too much to lose. I walk out, I don't care what you say. I walk out, I don't wanna waste my day. I walk out, they say I got an attitude. I just do me, this comes to me as natural. I'ma say it one time, man, screw the me ones. If I say it two times, then it's screw me too. Third time, I'ma say it, I'ma screw all of you, from the ground to the sky and the deep sea blues. Always barking orders, I'ma serve them dog food. Trying to press the charge on me, damn right, I'ma off you. See the sergeant man lied about my whereabouts. Never got
Lie. Come to the Labor Day rally. Join us. We are starting very soon, so you know you're still at the booths. Wrap up your conversations and come to the center of the park. Okay, we want to be packed because at the end there is a very, very important, very interesting activity that we're going to do together.
You missed 2 classes and no homework. You bring this class like you're some kind of jerk. You gotta fight for your right to party.
Alright, so the booths will be closing in 2 minutes. Will the volunteers please grab the chairs from the booth and please put them at the left side? You see my hand? Hear the clock? We need chairs for the people who need a seat. Okay? Come on, let's do that. Let's do that for the people who need a seat. There are lots of chairs.
But anyway,
You gotta fight for your right to party. You gotta fight. This house affects the clothes you're gonna wear.
Okay, hey. You heard the bell, huh? Means finish already. Everybody come to the center now. Booths are closed. Rally is starting. Make some noise. I can't hear you. Okay, the sound very good, but the people still there. People of Singapore, come on, come to the center.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we need you guys to come to the front and sit down.
Selamat. All right, come on, make your way in front. There's a lot of space here.
All those guys operating your booths, maybe you can assist to tell the people to head down to the front. So that'd be good.
Stumbled in the kitchen, pour myself a cup of ambition and yawn and stretch and try and come to life. Jump in the shower and the blood starts pumping. Out on the streets, the traffic starts jumping with folks like me on the job from 9 to 5. Working 9 to 5, what a way to make a living.
It is not 9 to 5, but a lot of people actually 9 to 6. Right, that's why, see? Some people 6 to 9. I don't know what's going on. And the doctor is here. Wow. Don't even talk about the night shift, the on-call 30-hour calls and all that. 9 to 5 is a fantasy, Miss Dolly Parton.
It is. Much needed in reality, but apparently not.
In reality, indeed. Okay, please, guys, come forward. We cannot start the rally without you, the Rakyat. Okay, come on. The kids can stay in the GCBs lah. That's okay. No problem. They can enjoy. But we have to fight for their future.
Those of y'all handling the booths, maybe you can help us by letting the people know to head to the front.
Maybe I can give one of my dad jokes lah, so that people will stop at the booth. Okay, I give you all warning this time. There will be another bell later. Okay, that bell. The labor movement, everybody, all will come here. Okay, very organized. Do I have your cooperation on that? I can't hear you. Do we have your cooperation? Okay, not bad. Better.
So right now we are eager to hear your dad joke.
Okay. Oh my God, hearing some protests about this already. Okay, so let me ask you, which neighborhood in Singapore, has the lowest crime rate and why?
The lowest crime rate.
Yeah, you all can shout out answers also. I hear Yishun.
Chongpang. Because Shanmugam in Chongpang.
This guy is given too much airtime at the rally. Okay, the answer is Havelock Road. Why? Because Havelock. Yes, correct.
Okay, I don't know. What do you guys think about this joke, huh?
Thank you. Jackie, can I do stand-up comedy? Thank you. Wow. Dinesh, you got one?
No, I'm not a dad, so I don't know that.
Hey, neither am I.
Jackie, you want to crack a joke? Jackie is Singapore's most good-looking comedian.
Okay, I'll play back. What do you say? Lie. Workers of Singapore, come on. Come on, come on. I think. Good evening, workers of Singapore! I'm Kumar.
I'm Bruce, and we are MCs for today.
Welcome to your Labor Day rally in 2026. If you're a burned out worker on this burning planet, you're at the place to be today.
Give yourself a round of applause, guys. Welcome. Right, so today we are here to make history as the 4th public independent Labor Day rally in recent memory. But this year's extra special. Why, Kumar?
Because this year is the first time in history there is a joint rally being organized by both the Labour and the climate movements. SG Climate Rally used to organize the climate rally separately since 2019. And the tradition of having a Labour Day rally that is not government-led restarted in 2023 and always on Labour Day on 1st of May. Fast forward to 2026, this is the first time both movements have come together in a solid show of unity. And I mean, come on, let's give yourselves a round of applause. Look at this unity today.
Yeah, but hold on a second. What unites climate and labour movement? Right, I get that the climate is about nature, planets, animal pollution and whatnot. And workers' rights is about wages, work conditions and work hours, right? What's the link, bro?
Bro, what's the point of having workers' rights if the planet, the land that we're standing on is burning? Am I right or not, guys? But also, what's the point of having a nice planet, healthy planet without workers' rights? Imagine having your weekends just to breathe the haze all day. The ultra-rich living in GCBs, not the bouncy castle there, but they can maybe afford a ticket to Mars when Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos starts a colony there. But what about the rest of us still paying for a HDB mortgage, bro? The rich have a plan B. The rest of us only have planet Earth. This is why this year we want to unify the climate and labour movement because, hey, not just for workers, but the planet is also running out of time. Am I right, guys?
Right, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so for this year, what are we calling for at this year's rally?
Bro, I'm so glad you asked, right? I have so many things to say. Right, there are both labour calls and climate calls. And for labour, we are calling for 888. 8 hours for work, 8 hours for rest, and 8 hours for living life. 8-hour work day for all, 5-day work week for all, because some of us have forgotten what the weekends actually have 2 days. Okay? At least 15 days of paid annual leave for all, dependent care and other leave entitlements. We're also talking about a basic amount of sick leave without the need for MC, raise basic wages so we're not forced to work extra, reduce our hours instead. And lastly, the right to disconnect, because let's face it, a lot of us here, even when we've clocked off officially, we're at home having to answer texts from our boss. Am I right or not, guys?
Right, and for the climate, we are calling for a few things. Firstly, true decarbonization, where industries take the lead and the polluting sectors are shut down. Second, hands off our forests. Yes, guys, we do have forests in Singapore. Right, we need legal protections to protect our forests and our biodiversity. Thirdly, we need to stop work orders, have cooling centers during high outdoor heat conditions for all workers, including migrant workers as well. Alright, and we live in Singapore, you see all the buildings around you? Right, we need to stop taking sand from our neighbors. No more construction with stolen sand. We should compensate with contributions to the loss and damage fund. Right, we also need to understand that our green transition cannot come at the cost of others. All overseas projects should be done with free, prior and informed consent of local communities. And lastly, no greenwashing. Right, tree planting and green buildings cannot hide fossil fuel spending and pollution.
Do you guys support these demands? I can't hear you. Do you support these demands? workers of Singapore. So what do these demands mean? How can it make a difference to our workers, our communities, and how do we fight for them? This is what today's rally, today's program is all about.
Our ushers have also been giving all of you program booklets. I hope all of you have them. Right, the program booklets have the chants, the songs, and everything about today. So grab a copy. Right, if you don't have it, it's at the booth at that corner, the welcome booth. Right, and for those of you wondering, what's next to us? We have this giant clock. Right, come on, what is the purpose of this clock?
Okay, now there's a very, very special surprise about the clock that will be revealed at the end of the rally. So make sure you all stay till the end, okay? Could it be a lucky draw? Is maybe a certain minister hiding inside? I don't know. Yeah, we'll see lah. We'll see. So you have to wait till the end.
I hope no one's hiding inside. But we'll start today's program with a live concert by some brilliant performers, followed by some rousing speeches from fellow workers of Singapore. We will close the debut of the very power-packed and exciting People's Choir called Satu Jiwa, who will be leading us in the songs about the independent labour movement in Singapore. And lastly, we will have a formation that we need all of you to be part of, and there is a surprise. The surprise involves the clock. So make sure you are staying till the very end. Right, but before we get started with the rally proper, I think we have to get in the practice of you and I. We, the workers of Singapore, fighting for our rights loudly and proudly. So everyone, let's all rise.
Stand up. Guys, come on. Okay, stand up. Okay, and look at your program booklet. Go to page 6. 6, not 7,
Yeah, it's 6 and 7.
No, only 6. Okay? So look at chart number 1. You all there? You all with me? Okay,
all of you all got your program booklet?
If
For those of you who don't have it, share it with your friend beside you. I'm quite sure we can do that.
Okay, so let's practice, okay? When I say 8, you say working all day is not our fate. Okay, you got it? Yeah! Okay, let's try one time, okay? 8. Working all day is not our fate. 8. Working all day is not our fate. 8. Working all day is not our fate. All right. Okay, give yourselves a round of applause.
Nice one, guys. Nice one.
Wait, one more. Still stand up, okay? Which one, Number 5.
All right, so look to the 5th chant in your page 6. Number 5.
Okay, so when we say, what kind of life is this? Then you say, there's so much that we miss. What is it? There's so much that we miss. Okay, so what kind of life is this? There's so much that we miss. They will say, we're running out of breath.
We're running out of health.
They will say that.
Yeah, you all say that lah.
Okay, so let's try. Okay, Dinesh. Okay, what kind of life is this?
There's so much that we miss.
We're running out of breath.
We're running out of health.
We're running out of breath.
We're running out of health.
Okay, so let's try from the top. Okay, what kind of life is this?
What kind of life is this? You're running out of breath. We're running out of health. You're running out of breath. We're running out of health.
All right, give yourselves a round of applause.
That's all, guys.
Okay, now without further ado, let's call up our first performance for the day. Up first, to honor the call to slow down and have time for ourselves, we start with a slow and moving Silat dance performed by Actor. Workers of Singapore, give it up for Actor!
Sit down. Duduk. Sit down. Pokaring gaya naro.
Wow, just how moving and impactful was that? Let's give it up to actor once more. Okay, up next, we're going to switch things up into street theatre. Okay, the play is called Erosion. It's a short play written by a former migrant worker in Singapore. Their piece poignantly captures the profound loss of disillusioned natives in the region from Singapore's wanton land reclamation. For this performance, we seek your cooperation to remain seated so that everyone in the park will be able to watch. Please also stay clear of the areas cordoned off by the cones in front of the stage and towards the back of the park. The actors will be moving amongst you at various parts of the performance. Please allow them some space should they require.
Come on, this play is about migrant workers. Why can't the migrant workers act in the play?
Sorry, before that, Bruce. Okay, the rain, okay, we are completely aware that this is going on, but okay, we can handle this, can we? Right?
We are ignoring the rain.
We are ignoring the rain. Okay, but everybody look at all of you. All of you keep prepared with the umbrellas. Let's keep it up, okay? If it gets very heavy, don't worry, we will play by ear, okay?
Okay, so back to my question, like just now I asked you, right? If it's a play written by a former migrant worker, why can't migrant workers act in the play?
Bro, because we have a really, really mind-boggling law that doesn't let migrants be in this park. But they form such a large part of the working class in Singapore. Am I right, guys? They refuse to be silenced. And so this is one way we can resist and make sure that their voices are here with us in this rally. Without further ado, please give a round of applause for the street theatre group performing Erosion.
Irrawaddy Delta, land is soft. You live with water. We believe the river is like God. You treat it well and pay respect. This river will treat you like her own children. Disrespect her and you face the rage of God. We survived Cyclone Anis. That was wind. This was trade. Sand leaving the riverbed in long lines. Boats with foreign letters. Day and night. My net came back empty. Economy never waved back.
Village near the Mekong, the river moves slow, like an old man stretching. Life measured by fish, rice harvest, how far the children could run before their feet sank into the mud. Then the dredger came. Long metal mouth with endless appetite. It eats sand, tons of sand. They said it was licensed. Sand has no passport. I could eat more easily than people do.
Yes, Mekong side. You, Myanmar, near Irrawaddy.
At first, sandbanks stopped appearing. Children ran on them in dry season.
Fishing depends on rhythm. Tide in, tide out. You feel it in your bones.
Then nothing.
Then the current changed.
Both sucking sand like the river was on life support. My uncle's house tilted first. Bamboo reinforcement floated away. Then the whole village, church, the school, the temple, everything. The water turned muddy, dead fish, dead dolphins, dead everything.
Deeper channel. Next storm
business. They said export strengthens the economy. My net was empty. My children went hungry. My parents couldn't afford medicine. Economy don't apologize.
Officials came with papers. They said national development. I asked if the Mekong voted for this, if the dolphins voted for this. They didn't laugh.
Rice fields near the bank turned salty. You can't argue with salt.
Debt? Plenty. Plenty to work for. You? Same. I sold my boat. Blew, cracked. My son said, bought some for selling. Children believe things last until it doesn't. I sold 2 cows. The only piece of remaining land. Took a loan with a small bank. Microfinancing, it empower. I felt very empowered signing the loan papers. Why Singapore? Recruiters say construction is steady. Dollar have good value. You? Who?
Saw the skyline, Marina Bay, glass, steel, water clean enough to look expensive. If our river looked like this, maybe they would protect it. Protection is expensive. Reclaim, that's the word. Reclaim from who? The sea didn't file a complaint. Maybe the river did. No one speaks river language here. Sand travels easier than we do. No passport is required. No medical check. No visa. No levy. Sand doesn't sleep 12 men in one room. Sand doesn't send money home. Sand doesn't miss anyone. We lost land to sand extraction. Now we move sand to build land. Maybe this is balance? Does it feel balanced? No. People say migrant workers came for opportunity. Opportunity did not come to me. Both did. We did not migrate. Where the sand goes, we follow. Do the people living here know that somewhere a fishing net dried for the last time? If they knew, they'd say, that's unfortunate. Unfortunate is safe. Means no one is responsible. Like erosion, market forces, like progress. My son asks when I'm coming home. I tell him, when the river is calm again. Rivers are never calm. My mother says Mekong Bank is wider now. She thinks wider is stronger. I told her wider sometimes means empty. We left water to build land. Land we will never own. Built from places that once held us. Places that we call home.
All right, let's give it up one more time for Erosion. Now, if you were as moved by that as we were, there's something you can do. Because migrants can't physically join us in this program. Migrant workers will be organizing their own Migrant Labour Day on 31st May. Follow Migrant Workers Singapore on Instagram for more details.
I know it's raining and we have this odd request, right? Because I know everyone has their umbrellas up, but the people at the back unfortunately won't be able to see what's happening. So if you can brave the weather, if you can, perhaps try and weather it through. Right, okay, next up we have our final performance before we kick off with the workers' speeches is the energetic and power-packed Duck Case Singapore. Let's give it up for them, guys.
I take this one because this is live streaming.
But you'll be blocking people, see, all the good points. Take care of it. The one you have to take
Guys, join Duck Case! This is where they want to involve you guys. Come on, guys, let's join.
Yeah, I'm joining.
Dinesh is doing it, man. If Dinesh is doing it, you all better do.
Yeah. Let's go.
Come on, let's go. Come on, everybody else, can we clap for them? Hey.
Where's the rest of us? Put your hands up.
Come on, guys, join in the fun.
Why? Foremost, yeah. Hey! Clap your hands, guys! Hey! 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 Hey!
Awesome, guys, this is excellent.
Pulling the rhythm. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Right. If we don't work, 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 if we okay, that's it's still not too late to join the circle, huh?
We're waiting for you.
Alright, let's give a round of applause for Dr. Singapore! Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now, Dr. is an indigenous art form. It resists against imperialism, and yes, it's the epitome of a culture that talks about people before profit. Okay, let's give them another round of applause. Thank you so much, Dr. Singapore. All right, everyone, let's thank all our performers once more. Come on, give it up.
But that was amazing, guys. Amazing energy. Thank you all of you guys for joining in the dance.
Dinesh, you didn't tell me you had so much talent. Huh?
Yeah, I'm a Bharatanatyam dancer.
Wow, bro. What can you not do?
I don't know, I'm shy on you.
Okay, so now we're going to switch gears a bit. Okay, we've danced, we've watched a play, we watched skate, right? And then we've also, we've immersed in culture. Now it's time to hear from the workers. Okay, yeah, round of applause. Come on, for our workers of Singapore. Come on, guys. It's not easy
because of the way they're moving to the side.
Right, being a worker and talking as a worker. Okay, so much, sometimes we feel like there's a lot at stake. What would our boss think? What would our co-workers think? But these are people who are taking that step, the brave step to talk today about not just themselves but about their co-workers. So first up, we have Carmen. She's the voice behind Confessions of a Grab Driver. She's a PhD driver who also juggles caregiving responsibilities.
Guys, let's give it
8 hours to live, like 888, right? So let me ask you, how many drivers today can actually do that? 8 hours times 5 days equals 40 hours. And to be very honest, right, in PHV terms, and based on my own numbers, 40 hours is actually a part-time hour. Because 40 hours times $33 an hour, that gives you $1,333 for the week, and this will be the gross income for your week. It seems decent, but you deduct $500 for car rental, $300 for petrol per week, and you're left with only $500 plus per week. That's about $2,000 a month. So is this enough to support a family in Singapore? Yeah. So in other words, if drivers today follow 888, we can only get a part-time salary. So how did the working classes demand for 8 hours of work 200 years ago come to define the part-time hours today? And based on my calculations, the minimum weekly full-time hours for a PHV driver to earn a decent income is actually 60 hours. But can everyone make this amount? The answer is no. Why? Because of auto accept, meaning to say that the platform automatically assigns jobs to you. It sounds efficient, but in reality, it takes away a driver's ability to choose which jobs make sense and to manage our own time. So how much control do you really have as a PHV driver? If you can follow their time and rules and hit the incentives, you will probably do okay. But what if you can't? Like someone like me with caregiving duties, because I thought I chose PHV driving for flexibility. So what used to feel flexible starts to feel a bit forced now. When platforms take high commissions, costs are rising, and your control over your time is reduced, flexibility just means you can choose to work anytime within the 24 hours in a day. But you'll still need to clock a 60-hour work week, maybe like 12 hours with off days, or 9 hours without off days. Our fares are affected by the high commissions platform take from us after we complete every trip. It's 10% for Gojek, and Grab's commission varies. In our experience, it can range up to 20 to 28%. This matters because the more commission the platforms take, the more hours we have to work. So even though we are paying to actually receive jobs from the platforms, they still control the trips we accept. And when we don't accept them, we get locked out of the app for 5 minutes. Yeah, and I understand, platforms need to earn because they built the system. But I also can't help but ask, as platforms grow their profits, do drivers benefit? Or are we just working longer just to keep up and to help them make even more money? Because drivers today are still the ones paying for fuel, paying for rental, taking on the risk, doing the actual work, but we don't control pricing, demand, or how the jobs come in. And don't forget that before the fuel crisis today, the government raised the petrol tax in 2021, passing the cost to us. Why? They cited climate change. But then why are the big oil companies getting millions of dollars in rebates? And this is where I started to rethink my own belief that everything is just about personal choice. The real question is, can a driver work reasonable hours and still earn a decent living? Not 12 hours, not pushing until you're exhausted, because when drivers push too long, it doesn't just affect income, it affects health, fatigue builds up, focus drops, stress increases, and over time, it takes a toll on both the driver and the people around them. So if 8 hours is not enough, what are the platforms really asking drivers to give up? Their rest, their health, or their safety? This is not about blaming, it's about balance. Platforms should do well, drivers should also be able to do well. And I think that there are areas that we can focus on. Commission level, how much control drivers have, and whether the system still supports true flexibility. Personally, I'm also taking care of my parents, so time matters and energy also matters. So when we talk about workers' rights, it's not about asking for more, it's about asking for what's fair, to be able to work, rest, and still have a life outside of work. Because to us, drivers, time is money. I may not be the perfect person to speak on this, but I've been here long enough to see the change. So maybe the better question to ask is, if things have changed this much, shouldn't we start asking why? Yeah, thank you.
All right, thanks, Carmen. Okay, so Carmen's not quite done yet. We're going to help Carmen. We're going to chant. We're going to do a chant. So everybody stand up again one more time.
I think I'm done.
Let's turn to page 6 of your program booklet.
So Carmen talked a lot about, how on earth can you work 8 hours, right, as a PhD driver. So we're going to go to page 6, chant number 7.
7.
Yeah, I know what you're thinking, don't say it out loud. Okay, so it says there, 40 hours, nothing more. We will say that. And then you will say, cut our hours, raise our wages. Okay, Dinesh, let's practice.
All right.
40 hours, nothing more.
Cut our hours, raise our wages.
Oh, you're excellent students, huh?
Y'all are very good.
Very good. Okay, so let's go. 40 hours, nothing more. 40 hours, nothing more. 40 hours, nothing more. Well done. Okay, one more.
Okay, flip to your next page. Is number 13.
Okay, so when we say stress, tension, fear, and pressure, you
workers deserve much more pleasure.
Then we'll repeat that again. Okay? Then after that, we will do the same thing but with a different word, leisure. So let's try that. Stress, tension, fear, and pressure.
Stress, tension, fear, and pressure.
Okay, leisure. Stress, tension, fear, and pressure. Stress, tension, fear, and pressure. All right, thank you so much, everybody, and thank you, Carmen. Let's give Carmen another round of applause.
All right, that was some powerful stuff from Carmen. Next up, we have Kai, who is currently an undergraduate who's also working part-time. She's also been involved with climate activism for the past 4 years.
Now she keeps stressing to us that this is her first time speaking at Hong Lim Park and that she's very nervous. So come on guys, let's cheer her on as loud as we can.
Yes,
let's give it up for Kai!
Mic test? Hi! Okay, hi guys, I'm Kai. I'm a part-time student, a climate advocate, and I've also been working for sustainable businesses for several years now. Some people say it's hard for them to see the links between labor and climate. But it was really easy for me because for 5 years, I used to work in a clothing thrift store. And there's something like deeply disturbing about facing huge mountains of fashion waste every day. And the mountain was twice my height. It was like touching ceiling, okay? And the retail hours, wow, damn shit guys. Like by the time I got home, around 9:30 or 10 o'clock, my whole family would be asleep and I could never hang out with them. I felt a lot of pain in my body too, from standing and carrying these clothes. And I carried like luggages, clothes on their hangers, in my arms. And on busy days, we could receive up to 80 to 100 kilograms of fashion waste. Not only was it tiring, but I also started to feel really, really angry and vengeful. Why is it suddenly my responsibility to rehome all these clothes? Why aren't we blaming the fast fashion industry? They are the ones who have mass-produced all these bad quality clothes and on the backs of garment workers, and they never share the money. Okay? These destructive systems are ingrained everywhere in our food, energy, media, and that's what capitalism does. It extracts from people, the environment, and only the rich minority get to hoard all the profit. And what do you think the consequences are? Climate change. All across the world, there are droughts, heat waves, typhoons, floods, forest fires, deforestation, pollution, and tsunamis. The climate crisis is already killing 5 million people every single year. Okay, not only killed, but it's made people homeless, disabled, sick, affecting their sources of food, water, and income. And I know it feels far away, but it's starting to affect us too. Okay, so put your hands up if you've had nights that you couldn't sleep because of the heat. Okay, put your hands up if you've had headaches just from walking outside. Okay, put your hands up if you have showed up to work in really bad sweat stains. Yeah, I can see them already. Yeah, see them, yeah. And put your hands up if in the past week you've said, wow, it's damn hot. Yeah. Okay, now close your eyes and imagine. Okay, what would it be like if we didn't have any air conditioning at all? Not in our offices, public transport, or malls. That is exactly what our most vulnerable go through every single day. Our migrant workers sleep outside, delivery riders can't work in the afternoon, and people in rental housing struggle because the houses are so close together, there's no freaking ventilation. Okay, and whose fault is it? Singapore. Okay, Singapore is the world's third largest oil and trade refinery hub, and that means, yeah, boom. And that means that we take in fuels and we process them, but then we ship it everywhere else to be burned, okay? And because it is burned elsewhere, they don't take any accountability. Because they burn the emissions elsewhere, so it's not considered Singapore's responsibility. But do you guys agree? No! Personally, I don't think the Singapore government is going to change anything. Not without sustained, consistent public pressure. And I have never trusted them to prioritize people over profit. Yeah. But I do trust all of you, okay? Because look around. No, look around, seriously. Look at all the different mats and make some sexy eye contact. Look at all this potential for organized people power. Like, it's really, oh my god. Organizing doesn't just look like speaking at a rally. It could look like making art or writing essays, taking down minutes, providing a space, or if you cannot do that, can set up chairs and tables and bring food, okay? So please join a group or start one, because I need you guys to lock in, okay? There is so much change that needs to get done. And I know some people here got commitment issues, but the least you can do then is to make some friends today. Like the friends I've made at these events like they're damn cool, okay? Like 2 years ago, I actually attended this rally with Roon, another speaker in this lineup. And they were actually the first person to inspire me to do donation pools. Together, we've probably collected up to 4,000 to 5,000 worth of climate relief aid. Okay, 2 years later, boom, speaking at Hong Lim Park. This could be you next year. I know some of y'all are feisty, scared, okay? But courage is not just a feeling. It's an act and a choice and a decision. It's what you choose to do even though you're afraid. And if I could dua anything right now, I hope that after today, you guys become like 1,000,000 times louder. Because I want to hear you, all the things that you care about, and I will read your super long paragraph about inequality on your IG stories, okay? And I really hope that your words turn into action too. So please, please, please join us, and thank you for listening. Okay, chant time. Turn to page 7 of your booklet. Okay, I'm gonna read 9 because okay, I'm gonna say no more coal, no more oil, and then you guys are gonna say keep your carbon in the soil, okay? Okay, no more coal, no more oil. Keep your carbon in the soil. No more coal, no more oil. Keep your carbon in the soil. Period. We love that. Okay, I got another one. This one's gonna be a little bit hard. It's a 3-liner. Okay, but you guys are just gonna see the last line. You guys clear? Okay, so when I say, when our planet's under attack, what do we do? Okay, a little bit quicker, okay? This one like stand up, fight back, okay? Okay, when our planet's under attack, what do we do? When our planet's under attack, what do we do? Okay, amazing. Thank you for following instructions.
Alright, what a rousing speech from Kai! Up next, we have Nasita, a caregiver and breadwinner living in a rental flat. She has also experienced being a single mother of 5 children and is also a member of Rental Flat Grassroots Network. We support us.
Guys, let's give it up for Nasita!
Hi, good afternoon everyone. Hi, my name is Nasita. Hi! Thank you so much for being here. This really means a lot to me. It's actually my first time actually speaking to a large crowd. I'm only in classrooms most of the time. So thank you so much. And yeah, okay, here we go. So it's no me time, dignity in work, and strength in care. I was actually 10 years old when I started working. I worked as a satay girl. I cleaned tables, washed dishes, I did security, whatever I could do to help my mother, a single mother. We lived hand to mouth. We slept in car parks and playgrounds at night and went to school the next day, acted as if everything was normal. But nothing about my life was normal. In this crazy rich Singapore, we don't have a poverty line, but there are about 50,000 public rental flat households, 1 or 2 room shoebox apartments, and many that are crammed with families like mine, and hundreds who are still homeless. And fast forward, I too became a single parent of 5 kids living in a cramped rental flat. Single parents still carry the weight of 2 people, but with half of the support. Our government wants to boost our birth rates, but they seem selective about the type of babies they want. And for part-time income, I actually teach kids about sustainability. And it's really unfair that the government chops down so much of our greenery. I honestly appreciate the greenery that's around Hong Lim Park right now. Yeah, but they say it's to build more houses. But why are there tens of thousands of unoccupied apartments? Why are there so few people occupying so much good space in the good class bungalows? But speaking to mothers like me, one simple thing that we want, that we don't have, is actually a me time. Time for ourselves. Let me walk you through a day in my life. I wake up at 5 a.m. and I prepare my kids to go to school. And then a queue starts to form from the only toilet in the house. Is it any surprise we are late? I found out that a minister's good class bungalow has a land area of 23,000 square meters, enough space to actually house 1,000 families. And I actually wonder how many toilets per humans our ministers and billionaires have compared to all of us here. Already late, I actually buy breakfast on my way to work. And in the late afternoon, I rush back home to prepare food for my kids. And the short naps are always interrupted with my baby's sudden cries. I have a youngest, which is a 1 year, 5 months now. And in the evening, everyone actually comes back home. And if I don't have to go back to my work, I have to get everyone dinner. And to those who actually find energy in themselves to cook, I really salute you. Then I do the chores, and by the time I'm done, there's barely any time in the day left. But I sometimes have extra work to finish. I end up sleeping late, but still have to wake up at 5 a.m. the next day. Although I get older and more tired, the work every day remains the same. The cycle continues and continues, and my anxieties would creep into my dreams. I stress thinking of all the caregiving and work I did not complete. And what are the other people saying about me? That I'm not working hard enough? Maybe I'm not a good mother? And I know I'm not alone. There are many who have it worse than me. and work-life balance is far away from all of us. There are many, yes, it's either work or life. But there's an important qualification, especially for many of us women. Life means the life of everyone else first. Either we choose to work more and sacrifice time caring for the family, or we care for the family and not have enough money. Does anybody here go through what I'm going through? Do you ever think that you don't have enough money and it's always work, 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 or you have to spend time with your family and you don't have enough money? Well, that is me. Yes? Raise your hands if you do! Well, honestly, caregiving is not part-time. And it's not even a full-time. It is 24 hours and we are not paid. We don't have me time. And I am not alone. And this is what many in the rental flat community experience as well. But who is stealing all of our time? To answer this, we must first understand what we share in common. Because we started working so young and our education was disrupted. Without high educational credentials, we can only work in certain jobs. And the media portrays the government as champions of the poor. But this isn't true. I know many who apply for help but get rejected. And starved of employment opportunities, desperate for money to survive another day, and left hanging on a thread by the government that would rather fund the military and corporations than its people. What are we supposed to do? We end up agreeing to work jobs with long hours and low pay. And the result? The big corporations get rich from paying us so poorly. And our time becomes theirs. And caregivers give up their time to make up for the things they can't afford. What do we call a system that puts corporations' profits before people's lives? Capitalism. Say it with me. Capitalism. Thank you. And workers of Singapore, we need to stop blaming each other. It is this system that's stealing our time. We must unite to take back our lives. A progressive wage is not enough. It is important that whether we are a Singaporean or a migrant worker, well, we actually, think it's always not enough. We can all earn a living wage while working 8 hours a day. 8 hours of rest and 8 hours for everything else. 888. Our ancestors actually fought for 888 in the 1800s. 200 years later, we are still fighting for this. And we must remember the power we have. As workers, if we don't work, nothing works. And as caregivers, if we don't work, no one can go to work. And alone, this power is meaningless. But when united, we can move mountains. That is the end of my speech. Now let's proceed to our chants. All right. Okay, everybody, let's turn to page 6 of your program booklet, chant number 1. All right. When I say 888, 888, you will repeat after me. Work all day is not our fate. Can you do that? All right. 888, 888. Work all day is not our fate. 888, 888. Work all day is not our fate. All right. Thank you so much. Now turn to page number 7 and we will chant number 12. All right. When I call sick, tired and burn out, your response will be, we're fighting back and no doubt. Can you do it with me? All right. Sick, tired and burn out. We're fighting back and no doubt. All right, let's do it again, guys. Okay. Sick, tired and burn out. Sick, tired and burn out. All right, thank you so much, everyone. We'll move on.
Yeah, what a sobering speech about the lack of me time for caregivers and breadwinners in poverty, right? So when Nasita shared 888, what does that mean? Right, we mentioned it earlier. What does it mean? We're calling for 8 hours of work. 8 hours of rest and 8 hours for living life. This is for a day, right? Okay, so that was demanded 200 years ago, but we are still fighting for it. And Nasita just reminded us about that. Let's give Nasita another round of applause. Okay, so Bruce, what do we have next?
All right, next up we have a very interesting segment. All right, we have a comedian, right? This guy, his name is Jackie Ng, right? He has 10 years of experience doing comedy. He's done over 500 shows, but today he's not going to do a comedy show. He's going to talk about his experience as a cultural worker in Singapore, guys. Let's give it up for Jackie Ng!
Yes! Thank you. Yes. Last night I was at a show and I told the comedians, I'm going to the rally. And they're like, you're going to tell jokes there. After everyone talking about what they're doing, you're going to go on stage and then talk about your cup noodles on Scoot, is it? I'm like, okay, I'm not going to tell jokes, so relax. I'm not telling jokes here. If you want to hear jokes though, I have a show on Tuesday at Circular Road. You feel free to get tickets for that. I prepared a speech, okay? Sometimes people come up to me after a show and they tell me, they're like, wow, Jackie, you're so brave. You're so brave to give up your office job and then you go and pursue your dreams as a comedian. You're so brave. And every time people say that to me, I smile at them, I nod at them, because I don't know what to say to them. Because I don't know what I'm doing that is so brave. I don't know what is brave about me pursuing and living my childhood dream. I don't know what is so brave about doing the thing that gives me the most joy in this world. You know, I don't think I'm very brave at all. I think I'm a very lucky stand-up comedian. I'll tell you what's brave though. I think brave is the Singaporean common worker that wakes up at 6:45 in the morning, go and squeeze in the rush hour traffic, to go to an office to work for a guy that clearly doesn't care about you as much as they care about the money that you can make for them. Brave is the migrant worker riding in the back of an open lorry, knowing that just like them, people just like them have died doing the very same thing that they are doing and still doing it. Brave are the activists here from Workers Make Possible and the activists in the climate sector. These are all brave people. I'm not brave. I'm just a comedian. I say that because I used to be brave. I used to work in an office. Yeah, I used to be. During COVID, I couldn't perform anymore, so I had to go apply for a job, and I found a job. And it was a job that I think many people my age at the time would consider a dream job. I was working in a big social media company, which I do not dare to name right now, because one of them is watching me. Right? I applied for the job and it was like a dream job. I was working with some of the funniest people in this country in a nice cushy office with a filled pantry, with nice chairs, nice tables, nice everything. And it was a dream job. I felt it. I was like, wow, this is a dream. For like 3 weeks. After 3 weeks, it became a nightmare, you know? Because the texts don't stop coming. Even after working hours, even when I'm on leave, they text me. I remember the very first time I took leave to go to Manila to do a stand-up comedy show with my friends there. When my plane landed and my phone had signal, the very first text I got was from the office asking me to edit a script, which is ridiculous. I'm like I'm a million miles away. I'm just trying to relax and you're asking me to work. When I went back to work, we had a brainstorming session to make videos, right? And I was like, hey, here's a funny idea for a video. I am on holiday and you guys will not stop texting me. Isn't that like a relatable, funny video we could make? That video was never made. All I got was a warning. You know? One day, on the way to work in the crowded train, I was scrolling on my phone and I saw my boss promoting, what is this? He's promoting a confinement hotel for his wife that was pregnant at the time. The confinement hotel cost $20,000 a month. And then I got into office, I see my other colleagues who also have pregnant wives, and I'm like, none of you can afford to pay $20,000 for a confinement hotel. I'm like, why are we working for this man that pays us $3,000 a month and then promoting something that we cannot afford? You know? So the moment I saw the video, the moment I saw all of that, I lost all respect for my boss. And since then, I have grown and developed a deep disrespect for that man. The day I decided to quit, I was performing. It was like towards the end of COVID, I was performing at Marina Bay Sands. It was like the first big show we could do after COVID. You know, I remember being so happy. I performed for this big, awesome crowd. I went out for a cigarette, standing outside MBS. I checked my phone, looking at all the IG stories of people tagging me, feeling incredible about myself. And then I get a text from my office work chat, asking me to edit a script. I looked at the message, I looked at MBS, and then I left the group chat. The next day when I got back to office, guess what? I got a warning. So that's it, I knew it's done, I had to leave. You know? I'm telling you this story is not because I want all of you to quit your jobs and become stand-up comedians. Okay, there is only one stand-up comedy club in Singapore, and if all of you become comedians, who is going to come and watch me perform? I'm telling you these stories because I want you to understand that you shouldn't have to be brave to go to work. Your work should fulfill you and bring you joy. But if that is too much to ask for, your work should at the very least pay you enough to afford the life your bosses are living. Thank you. I gotta say, guys, we're gonna do in a chant in a moment. I didn't write this down, but I'm really feeling this. I perform in so many places. I perform in big, beautiful theaters, but none of that compares to the crowd that I'm feeling tonight. So thank you. Round of applause for all of you for coming out here. All right, let's do our chants, everyone. Again, we're going to page 6. The chant I'm doing is chant number 2. All right. So I'm going to say, we're burning out, do you know why? And then you say, the cost of living is too damn high. All right, let's try that once. We're burning out, do you know why? We're burning out, do you know why? Beautiful, wow. Okay, number 3, we're doing number 3 next. Number 3 is a 2-part. There is one call, one response, call, then response, okay? So it's stop stealing sand. We don't want a nation. Beautiful, right? One more time. Stop stealing sand. We don't want a nation. Stop stealing sand. We don't want a nation. Thank you so much, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Round of applause for Jackie, guys. Thank you, Jackie, for the very honest account and sharing. Really appreciate what you're doing for the comedy scene. And please make it down to watch his next show.
Dinesh, you're a comedian as well, right?
Not as good as Jackie.
Okay. Okay, next up, we have a speech from an F&B worker. His name is Roon. Roon is an F&B. Hello. Alright, wow, Roon got a lot of fans already. Wow, okay. You'll increase your fan base by 200% today, for sure. So Roon has a lot of experience in F&B for 10 years, and actually something interesting I want to share about Roon's speech today. Actually, his speech was supposed to be delivered by a former 12 Cupcakes worker. How many of you have heard the case of 12 Cupcakes? Right, so the 12 Cupcake worker, his name is Mr. Sazali. Unfortunately, while waiting for the liquidation to conclude, tragedy struck and his wife was hospitalized, and so he needs to be by her bedside 24/7. Our thoughts are with Mr. Sazali and his family today, right? And in his place, some of the workers from 12 Cupcakes and Providor are mixed with you in the crowd, and some of them are migrant workers who are perhaps outside the park right now. And so Roon will try to bring all their voices today in a speech that was prepared together with them. So let's give it up for Roon.
Thank you. Hi guys, my name is Roon. My journey in F&B started 11 years ago. While I gained so much experience, I lost something as well. 2 years ago, I was hospitalized. I had chronic back pain caused by standing long hours and heavy lifting in F&B. I was no longer able to work in the industry full time, and I was just 30 years old. There are many like me who live with the bodily scars from working in F&B long enough.
Anyone in F&B can tell you it's hard to pay the bills as a part-timer. When I was looking for a job recently, many bosses offered me only $10 per hour. I was shocked. This was the salary 8 years ago, but I was desperate and took the job. Even after lowballing, some bosses expect you to do more than what's in your job scope. Some expect you to work more than 44 hours without paying OT. This is illegal, by the way. They don't divide the tips and service charges fairly or at all. They don't pay CPI properly, don't cover taxi money when they make you work late, and worse, they don't pay our salaries on time. Yes, woo! To F&B workers like us, these are considered normal. But just because something is normalized, does that make it right? There is a new pattern they try. When the company is not doing well, they close shop before settling our salaries. That's what they call liquidation. As fellow worker Kyle said 2 years ago on this stage, the COVID-19 pandemic may be over, but the pandemic of wage theft remains rampant. It's 2026 and this is still as true as ever. But what if there's another way? Last year, ex-workers from 12 Cupcakes showed us how. Their multi-millionaire bosses liquidated the company and abandoned them without pay. But did they take it lying down? No. They came together and bravely went outside MOM to break the whole story to the entire nation. Overnight, solidarity poured in. Public pressure mounted on their bosses and MOM to do something. Can we please give them a round of applause? Soon, things started to move. MOM started investigating a liquidated entity, which usually doesn't happen, by the way. As a unionized company, NTUC reached out, helping them file their claims, tried linking some to jobs, and gave them vouchers. But to NTUC, of course. They gave no guarantees about getting paid, and it could take years. Without a job, some risked deportation, and our workers felt like giving up. Then, F&B worker from Makan Minum Workers contacted them. Together, they launched a fundraising campaign to both provide for the workers and call for policy change. One of the demands, make it compulsory for companies to buy wage insurance for workers if they close down. Workers' Party listened and brought their demands to Parliament. But how is Makan Minum Workers different from NTUC? NTUC's interest is closer to the bosses. Meanwhile, Makan Minum Workers' interest is closer to us, the workers. Any F&B workers can join and you have a say regardless of your nationality. Can I see a hand of like how many F&B workers are here today? Or like if you work part-time F&B before? That's like a lot of you today. Yeah, so the liquidation and investigations concluded in 6 months. Workers were given much less than what they claimed. For disrupting the lives of 80 families, MOM only issued 12 Cupcakes a stern warning. Yes. Singapore's rule of law is always described as very strong. But why does it seem super weak when it comes to workers? I know I said that the 12 Cupcakes workers are an example, but their struggles seem to end on a tragic note. We must look at their case in context of other liquidations. These usually take years to conclude and rarely get investigated. And MOM doing something about a liquidated company, that's not normal. But what made the 12 Cupcakes workers the exception? Do you think it's the NTUC? No. It was the fact that 12 Cupcakes workers organized, took action, and started making the bosses and authorities sweat. Organizing literally won them time. Yes. By no means were they victorious though, but the gain suggests that they are moving in the right direction. More recently, Providor shut down. Everyone heard about Providor? Yeah. So they fight for liquidation and left workers stranded with salaries unpaid. Meanwhile, the boss is a businessman from China who lives in a condo and still has other businesses in Singapore. If you're listening, Tom, we don't care about the liquidation process. We're coming for what we're owed. Owe money, pay money. To the 200,000 F&B workers in Singapore, we have to look out for each other. No one will save us, not even our individual selves. Only our unity will save us. Our bosses may be armed with expensive lawyers, but we have one thing they need, our labor. If we don't work, they can't get rich. Workers literally run the world. Let's keep moving. Get organized, and if you're an F&B worker, join Makan Minum Workers. Thank you. Okay, so now we're going to do some chants. You can turn to page 6 of the booklet. We're going to do chant 4 first. When I say we are humans, not machine, you say work is not our everything. Okay? We are humans, not machines. We are humans, not machines. We are humans, not machines. Nice. And we're gonna do number 6. I'll say retiring with dignity, and you say it's a right, not a luxury. Stop at the right, like it's a right, not a luxury. Okay? Retiring with dignity. Retiring with dignity. Retiring with dignity. Okay, last one. Page 7, we're gonna do number 14. I'll say if we don't work, you say nothing works. Okay? If we don't work, nothing works. If we don't work, nothing works. If we don't work, nothing works. Thank you.
All right, let's give Ruan a round of applause.
All right, we're down to our last 2 speeches, right? To round up the speeches about the climate, we have former architect and longtime member of the SG Climate Rally, Yong Fong. Let's give it up for Yong Fong, guys.
Good evening, Hong Lim Park. 7 years ago, I came here for the first climate rally. I invited friends, but they weren't free, so I came on my own. Little did I know that many others who were there that same day would become my closest friends and comrades. Today, some of the demands from that rally have become a reality, like a net zero target and an increased carbon tax. But that's not enough. Change is happening too slowly, as Kai has said. It's clear that clinging to fossil fuels is a liability, as we see with the impacts of the war on Iran. Our ministers say we are a small country, so we can't do much. But we have the world's highest carbon emissions per person, and we are the world's largest importer of sand. Despite all the government's talk about its green plan, if the whole world were to live like Singapore, we will need 7 planet Earths instead of the only one that we have. Does that sound sustainable to you? It's not that our civil servants are stupid. I used to be one too. NParks spent a lot of effort to study and map out green corridors so wildlife can move between nature areas, but we see them cut away bit by bit anyway, to build industrial parks, to build roads and housing. Soon, we are expected to lose up to 100 hectares of forest near our central catchment to be turned into housing. And worse, a study showed that Singapore was responsible for 60,000 hectares of deforestation in the Southeast Asian region just in 2015 alone, just in 1 year. Why is it so hard to do the right thing? It's because in our capitalist system, raising profits and GDP is the ultimate priority that overrides everything. Anything else, from protecting our forests to reducing plastics, can only be considered if it doesn't affect economic growth. But who benefits from this growth? In Singapore, the workers' share of GDP has decreased over time, from 49% in 2014 to 44% in 2024, even though workers outnumber the capitalist class many times over. Why are we surrendering our forests and land, welcoming AI that will use even more water and energy, exploiting and harming our Southeast Asian neighbors, all to make the top 1% even more wealthy? And even for those that you have decent salaries, you end up burning your nights and your weekends, you save out your leave, like Jackie, to fly for a short trip to relieve your stress, and then it all builds up all over again. How is any of this worth it? This is why, after years of climate advocacy, we realized we need to build a stronger, broader movement. Our planet is not the only victim of the climate crisis. Ordinary workers have so much to lose too. This is why today, we stand as one united movement, calling for people and planet over profit. This is not the first time environmental and labor rights have come together in Singapore. In the 1950s, farmers living in kampongs organized left-wing rural associations against resettlement, and when they lost, they fought for better compensation for their land. When the workers in the city went on strike for better wages and working conditions, farmers would bring them the meat, vegetables, and eggs so they could continue striking. The farmers, workers, and students allied in a strong anti-colonial movement that scared the British so much, they were accused of being communists and forced to close, even though they were just building community. That is the real reason why we have no more kampong spirit in Singapore. Today, the few land-based farms we have are being forced to close, and we import most of our food. We've lost the connection to the land we once had. Those independent unions and associations no longer exist because of heavy state repression. But there's hope from the volunteers practicing permaculture at places like Katip Wellspring Farm to the worker groups you've heard about from Nasita and Rune. Today, you can be part of our growing climate and labor movement. But what is this better world we are fighting for? It's one where we spend fuller lives, with more time to spend with our loved ones and enjoy nature together. With a living wage, we don't need to OT and take cabs to save our time, so we can slow down and cook meals with friends and family instead of ordering food delivery. This also means we reduce our impact on the planet, not because we are forced to, but because life is better lived without all the need to rush around. Research on post-growth has shown that this is all possible. We have more than enough resources for everyone to live a good life and avoid the climate crisis, as long as they are shared fairly and equally. I'm not saying that any of this will be easy, but between a burning planet where the rich keep all the profits and fighting for a chance of saving both the planet and our lives, I hope the choice is clear. Just as I did 7 years ago, you can step up too and join one of the many groups here today to claim back our time. So what are you waiting for? All right, and now let's do a few chants. Turn back to your program booklet and look at number 8. When I say fund, healthcare and education, you say not war and exploitation. Fund, healthcare and education. Not war and exploitation. Fund, healthcare and education. Not war and exploitation. Okay, and the next one that Kai's already done. No more coal, no more oil. No more coal, no more oil. No more coal, no more oil. Thank you, everyone.
All right. Thank you, Yong Feng. And finally, to round off the rally speeches, we have hospitality worker and member of Workers Make Possible, Megan. Let's give Megan a round of applause. A final speech, everybody.
My fellow workers of Singapore, we are gathered here today because the world is burning and we are burnt out. But where do we go from here? When we leave Hong Lim Park today, what will we do tomorrow? The truth is, the only way we will see change is if we all get organized. We must come together as a united force. Of course, that's easier said than done. Workers Make Possible and many dedicated worker groups have been trying to organize communities in almost impossible conditions. People say Singaporeans are apathetic, but I think it's more accurate to say that we lack two things: time and hope. We have no time to check our rights, gather our co-workers, go down to MOM. There are bills to pay, children to feed, and parents to care for. We're too scared to speak out because we might lose our jobs or get in trouble. Instead, we farm coins on Shopee, we buy a bag on sale, and we get drunk with our friends. These distractions really help when it feels like nothing you do can change anything. I do outreach in a rental flat neighborhood where I got to know Auntie Guan. She's 77, fiercely independent, and cynical as hell like my own grandma. I will never forget the look on her face when she told me, 有时候觉得死掉比较好. Sometimes I wish I were better off dead. The government wants you to believe that people like Auntie Guan are well taken care of because they have a roof over their heads. But when you've lived from crisis to crisis, never able to escape poverty, no matter how hard you work, you lose all hope. And that's exactly what they want. The less capacity we have to come together, the more they benefit. The more we blame our own choices rather than the system that forced us into them, the more they benefit. Tell me, is it your fault that even if you work like a dog until you're 65, you don't have enough savings to retire? No. Tell me, me, is it your fault we have to OT until the morning because your boss has unreasonable deadlines? And tell me, is it your fault when you're sick and you still have to work because your boss calls you? And yet, those of us in office jobs are told to be grateful because we're not in blue-collar work. Let's be clear, whether you're a worker with your hands or your minds, you are a worker! And here's a simple test to check. Is your income closer to the $800 a construction worker earns, or the $15.9 million the CEO of UOB took home in 2023? From 2019 to 2024, the global pay of CEOs has risen by 50%. Meanwhile, the average wage of workers has risen by 0.9%. That's less than 1%. Meanwhile, CEOs are investing trillions of dollars in technology that takes away decent jobs. My software engineering friends are being asked to train the very AI models that will replace them. Meanwhile, data centers in Johor are choking out residents with smoke and dust. Fresh grad employment rate has also dipped, and the gap between us and them has never been wider. But us feeling powerless is exactly what they want. The truth is that getting organized is the only way we can take back our time and gain back our hope. And workers, we have been doing it all this time. In September 2019, 13 SBS bus drivers sued the employer for underpayment and poor working conditions, inspiring the formation of Workers Make Possible and improving conditions for their fellow drivers. That same year, in November, hundreds of delivery riders showed up in force to meet the people's sessions to resist the PMD ban. This directly influenced the Platform Workers Act later. And most recently, in 2025 October, the workers of 12 Cupcakes came together and clawed back more than half of their old wages. This right here should give you hope. No different from you and I, these workers. They have families to support. But everyone who stood on this stage before you today were not born activists. And this is what I've learned from organizing. Courage is a practice, and all of us here can do it. Start now. Organize in small ways. When something doesn't feel right at work, check in with your coworkers. See how they feel. When your friend complains to you about something they're facing at work, connect them to someone who can help. And lastly, sign up now to be a member of any of the groups here today. We cannot wait for them to help us. Who do you trust more to protect our planet? The workers who feel the effects of the climate crisis every day, or the millionaires who don't even know how to take the MRT? When we start to get organized, we may win or we may lose the first few fights. But when we keep fighting, we'll get stronger. We learn their dirty tricks. And when another worker gets into trouble, we already know what to do. And this is how we'll win back our time and gain back our hope. Those in power have taken so much from us and destroyed so much of the earth. But we can stop them. The movement needs you. Join us now, because we're running out of time. Thank you.
Wow. Thanks, Meg.
Okay, we're going to do a few chants together. So everyone turn to page 7. We'll do chant 10 together, okay? Okay, so when I say, when our planet's under attack, what do we do? Okay, nice. Okay, let's try 2 more times. When our planet's under attack, what do we do? When our planet's under attack, what do we do? Okay. And the last one is my personal favorite. When I say, the people united, you say, will never be defeated. Okay, let's go. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated.
All right, what an amazing speech from Mac, closing off the workers' speech. But we're not quite done yet, okay? Hong Lim Park, will you please raise your fists in the air to honor the courage of all the speakers and performers so far? It's a symbol of resistance, this fist. Okay, NTUC recently also put but usually they do this. Okay, this time we do this, Okay. As they speak truth to power, right? So, Bruce, what do we have next?
Okay, we're going to refer to page 7 of your program booklet. Right, the chant number 11. So the call is Hidup Rakyat, Hidup Pekerja. And you'll respond with the same, Hidup Rakyat, Hidup Pekerja.
Yeah, just repeat after us, okay? Let's try. Hidup Rakyat, Hidup Pekerja. Hidup Rakyat, Hidup Pekerja. Long live the people, long live workers.
Long live people, long live the workers.
Long live the people, long live workers.
Long live people, long live workers.
Thank you very much. Well done, guys.
Alright, thank you guys, that was amazing. So having heard all the fiery speeches, it's time to introduce some melody to the working class struggle. So up next we have Satu Jiwa, which is an intergenerational people's choir rooted in the power to music and song to build resolve, conviction and solidarity. And they have a very special set for all of you today. Let's give it up for Satu Jiwa!
Okay, so we are Satu Jiwa, and Satu Jiwa means like one soul, one heart, and we are also one soul and one heart with all of you over here. So let's sing together. if you can turn to page 9, that is where the song starts onwards. Right? So for the first song, we just sang Bersatulah, and there's meaning behind all of these songs, and it was picked very specifically. The song we just sang is Bersatulah, and it was popular in 1940s Malaya and Indonesia during their struggles for independence. During the 70s and 80s, it was also sung in Singapore by students during sit-ins, rallies, gatherings, and protests. So we are singing in continuation of their legacy. Next, you can look at page 10, and what we have over there is We Shall Not Be Moved. And We Shall Not Be Moved is an African-American spiritual song first sang by people exploited and forced to be slaves in the southwest of US. And they were expressing their steadfast determination through their suffering, and later became popular as a labor union and protest song in the civil rights movement. So let us all please sing together. Next up, we have Solidarity Forever. And Solidarity Forever is a trade union anthem that was sung during the student movements of the 50s and subsequently anti-colonial protests. So turn to page 11 and let us all sing together.
They have taken and proclaimed that they never will.
acknowledge I messed up just now. So if anyone want to join the choir, please come so you can replace me next time. But also go to YouTube and search Satu Jiwa, and then you can hear me sing it in a better way, okay? Yeah, okay, thanks everyone. So next we have We Shall Overcome. And We Shall Overcome is a very special song to us because it was mainly sung by tertiary students of the 70s and 80s when faced with suppressions from campus administrations or associated authorities during their anti-bus fare hikes protests. This song was also sung by protesters and supporters of those detained by ISA in 1987 during Operation Spectrum, outside Phoenix Park, Blue Gate, and during gatherings. And a lot of our predecessors are also here today. So let us all sing this together in solidarity with them and all they have endured, and for all that we will continue to endure together. Next, we are singing Rakyat Bersatu Pasti Menang, which you can see at 12. Thank you very much, page 12. And Rakyat Bersatu Pasti Menang is sung in solidarity with our Southeast Asian comrades. This last song is a chant by Indonesian artist Hara, inspired by indigenous resistance groups farmers and activists who continue to face repression and imprisonment for fighting against the exploitation of their lands. Let us all sing together.
Hutan kita kau bakar, sungai kering kerembang, gunung di taman pesisir pantang garam, bumi air dan kekayaan alam dikuasai oleh segelintir orang. Rebut ruang, mari kita berjuang, rakyat bersatu tak bisa dikalahkan. Kita semua manusia berhak untuk merdeka. Ibu-ibu, orang muda, orang tua, buruh tani, buruh pabrik, guru dan mahasiswa, desa kota semua harus sejahtera. Rakyat bersatu tak bisa dikalahkan. Tak ada waktu untuk kalah dan pasrah. Musim semi beni bermekaran, pasti menang, pasti menang. Fajar merah akan datang. Kita semua manusia berani dan percaya. Ibu-ibu, orang muda, orang tua, buruh tani, buruh pabrik, guru dan mahasiswa, desa kota semua harus sejahtera. Rakyat bersatu tak bisa dikalahkan. Tak ada waktu untuk kalah dan pasrah. Musim semi beni bermekaran, pasti menang, pasti menang. Fajar merah akan datang. Fajar merah akan datang.
All right, let's give Satu Jiwa another round of applause. Welcome to Singapore. We're not quite done yet. Okay, so stay put. Now it's time to celebrate the people's labor and climate movement and show our appreciation to the people who have been fighting hard for a better life for working class communities in Singapore. The parade you're about to witness will consist of 3 contingents. First, we will welcome leaders from the different worker and tenant associations who are at this year's Labor Day rally, carrying the flags of their diverse groups united in a shared struggle. Now this contingent is made up of Harif from SG Riders, representing platform workers. Sianglin from Sick and Tired, representing healthcare workers. Kyle from Makan Minum, representing F&B workers. Arshikin from We Support Us, representing tenants from low-income neighborhoods. Vikram from Migrant Workers Singapore, and Ash from the People's Artists Initiative, representing arts and cultural workers in Singapore. They will come up to the stage waving flags that represent their grassroots organizations.
Next, we will welcome up members of our youth sector holding pickets with our labour and climate demands this year. Hadi, Rune, Mel, Alia, Christina, Shaf and Rao are part of a vibrant youth movement that has been fighting for the working classes. Student solidarity with workers and workers' solidarity with students is crucial to building people power so that together we can free ourselves from our chains. And finally, we will have the organizers of this year's Labor Day rally, Workers Made Possible, and SG Climate Rally to come up holding our banner calling for people and the planet to be put before profit. We will have Julie from SG Climate Rally, Christina from Climate Rally, Shu from Climate Rally, and Enza from Workers Make Possible, Dawn and Shida and Jake from Workers Make Possible.
Now, as we watch each contingent of the parade come up, we'd like to welcome all of you to stand up, join our choir in singing the Internationale, a song that unites the working class masses of the world. Okay? Everybody stand up. Okay, come on, we're at the finale.
Let's rise up,
Come on,
guys. We're
Let's
the
rise
last
up.
link.
Cost of living is rising, okay? The seas are rising. We must rise also. Come on. Okay. First up, let's make some noise of the Workers and Tenants Association of Singapore. Return to your booklet and sing the song.
Associations a round of applause and welcome the youth sector holding tickets with our labour and climate demands this year.
We can say, stop working our seniors to death, hands off our forests, we're sick of you policing our sick leave. Stop stealing stand from our neighbours. Caregiving is a 24-hour shift. let's give it up for Workers Make Possible and SG Climate Rally as they join the protesters. Join all of you.
Alright, let's give the labour sector, the climate sector, the youth sector, the culture sector, and the tenant sector another round of applause. We are coming close to the end of the rally. Now we'd like to invite all of you at Hong Lim Park to pack in together behind the banner to take an awesome group picture.
Alright, behind the banner everybody. No one crosses the picket line, okay? Everybody is behind.
Everyone in the corners, come to the center, guys.
Pack it in, guys. Let's show our strength in numbers. Come on, guys.
Okay.
Watch your step. Look out for each other.
Come on, guys. Let's make it quick.
And let's raise those placards that you have. Okay, put it up. Let's put it up.
The sun is setting.
Loud and proud. Looking good, guys. Come on. Hey, NTUC got photo also, okay? Where's our photo?
Alright, everyone, those coming, moving faster, guys. Let's make it quick and quick.
It's so beautiful, so colorful, you know? Not the MPs and the politicians at the front, but the people. This is what it's about, guys. This is what it's about. Come on, everyone, pack it in. Let's be counted. Let's be counted. Wave your flags. If we don't work, I say if we don't work, nothing works. If we don't work, nothing works. If we don't work, nothing works. All right.
All right. Now we come to the final moments of the rally. All right, guys. We have one last action that we want you to stay for. Okay, we notice there is a giant clock. The giant clock, which is on my left. Alright, love the singing, love the spirit.
Hold on. Okay, crowd, everybody, well done. Let's move back a little bit. Last special activity. Remember what I told you about the clock? Do you want to see what's going to happen to the clock?
Yeah!
Okay, then let's step back a little bit, okay? Give the clock some space for a while, okay? Okay, front row, bend down, please.
Yeah, those at the front, maybe just take a
excellent.
Take a knee.
You guys are amazing.
All right, guys. Okay, so the giant clock is the centerpiece of this year's Labor Day rally. On the face of it, many of you wrote down what you would love to do with your time if you were not so overworked and exhausted all the time. We are saving that as a reminder of what we have to fight for. Beneath that, this is the ugliness, the ugly truth, where the flames have engulfed our time and what we want to do. Right? We are trapped in the moment. Right? So to build a world where we can have time for family, for art, for community, for nature, and for rest, we need to smash the current systems. Let's cheer on our volunteers as they break this phase of the clock, symbolizing the working clock. Power to break free! Break the clock! 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 Break the clock!
Now, wasn't that just satisfying? Just like we smashed the clock, let's smash the systems that hold us all down. Our Labor Day rally may be over, but the labor movement and the climate movement must continue to grow from strength to strength. One night and fight on. One last chant before we call it a night. Chant it with me. Power to the people!
Power to the people!
Power to the people! Power to the people! Last time! Power to the people! Thank you. Good night, everybody. Let's keep the struggle going on.
Thank you, guys. You've been amazing.
See you next year. Same place, same time. I know we say we're running out of time, right? But I want to let you all know that we ended the rally ahead of time. 6:58. Oh yes, please. Okay, it's a climate rally also. So please not trash. Okay, remember pick up your trash.